On the line via Zoom, Dr. Erica Wheeler, WHO PAHO representative for Trinidad and Tobago and the Dutch Kingdom Islands. Good morning, Dr. Wheeler.
Good morning, Lisa, and the rest of my TTT family.
Oh,
Good
yes,
morning.
indeed.
Morning.
Dr. Wheeler, so this approval by the UK for the drug coming out, the vaccine rather, coming out of Pfizer, what does that mean for us here in Trinidad and Tobago, for example?
Okay, well, first of all, to say that the approval was given by the UK Centre for Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency. And that just means they're like the equivalent of the FDA in the US. So they have approved the drug because it's the results that has been released so far shows that it has 94% efficacy, meaning ability to stop the disease. So yes, that is good news for the UK population. However, you would know too that there's some issues connected with receiving such a vaccine, such as it's very expensive.
Right.
It requires specialist storage between -70 and -80 degrees, although there is equipment to ship it. And at this present time, PAHO and WHO, we are having discussions with Pfizer Biontech to include it in the COVAX facility, because if it is included in the COVAX facility, we will be able to get it at a more reasonable cost, because of all the vaccines released so far, it is by far the most expensive.
Yes, and
So for us to receive that vaccine, we have to be prepared for it and be able to pay.
yeah, so with it not being part of COVAX, sort of makes it a ways off for Trinidad and Tobago, particularly because of budgetary constraints.
Yes, we have already paid down a particular amount of money in Trinidad and Tobago to receive 280,000 vaccines. And that was at a fixed price that is much lower than the cost of this vaccine. So there will be a meeting with the member states. PAHO is having a meeting next week, the 10th of December, to talk to countries about, do they want a lot of this vaccine, do they want small quantities, or don't they want any at all? So these discussions are going on behind the scene, and we are hopeful that Pfizer BioNTech will agree to join the COVAX facility and therefore enable Trinidad and Tobago, once the vaccine, of course, it has to be approved not just by the UK or FDA, it has to be approved by WHO as well, because WHO has very, very strict pre-qualification procedures. But once that is done, there is no other barrier. I'm saying once that is done, those three things happen: approved pre-qualification by WHO, a lower cost, and of course the ability of the country to receive and store the vaccine
Yes.
in -70 to -80 degree
So it really means that we have to keep our eyes on the other companies that were manufacturing, including the University of Oxford, I
Yes.
believe, who intend to make it
Yes.
even more available to low income or lower income countries, because the Pfizer
Yes.
one may just not necessarily get to us in time, or because of storage or because of cost.
Yes, that assessment will be made. There's a task force being set up by the Ministry of Health. So once the negotiations over price have been completed, I will inform the ministry, and we will know whether we would be in a position to also purchase it. But yes, there is good news that we have the Moderna vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is only about $5 there,
Yeah, yeah.
AstraZeneca. And of course, in January, we probably will have more vaccines released onto the market.
Oh, that's some good news there. Thank you very much, Dr. Erica Wheeler, and always ready to come on the program and give us an update. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All
Thank you.
right.